What's up everybody, my name is Darth Jeswick and welcome back to my channel. Today we are renovating Plumbog Pictures Museum. We're actually turning it into an amphitheater where all of your famous Sims can go and sing or perform comedy or even DJ. I also have guitars and pianos here, so it kind of looks like it's a setup for a concert. And this build is technically inspired by a real amphitheater. Well, sorta, anyway. We can't really do the terrain manipulation that I was intending to do for this build because it just wasn't matching up with like the foundation heights. And the reason why I decided to build it in Dosel Valley is because I've kind of been doing a few renovations on some of the stuff here. Those are kind of like back to my first videos that I've posted about Sims. I did a couple like nightclubs here. So I'm kind of trying to like finish out this part of the build, like this downtown area, and I just thought that the amphitheater would be a very good idea. I do change this to a bar lot type instead of a museum lot type. It has great acoustics, which is great for like building your Sims musical skills, like guitar, piano, whatever. It's a party place, which helps like make your goals for like a date go faster and like over well better. And it's also got the sunny aspect lot trait, which just helps your Sims be happy after the lights go down or after the sun goes down. Which, if they're having fun, partying, and going on dates here, that I feel like that's a nice lot trait to have. But the whole reason why I wanted to build this amphitheater is because I went to a concert recently at this place called Pine Knob in Clarkston, Michigan. It's like by Detroit. And my husband and I went to see Fall Out Boy with like my brother, which was really cool. It was a really nice concert. I think everybody had a great time. And it was my first time ever at that venue, so I thought it would be cool to kind of build it in The Sims, even though it doesn't look like even remotely close to what it looks like in real life. But we can only do so much with The Sims. Like before that concert, I'd only been to like Ford Field or Little Caesars Arena, which is like wildly different from actually being like outside when you're at a concert. I think it's actually a little bit better on my ears because my ears weren't ringing as much as they would have been if we were like in an inside venue. And you can see now that I have some of the like concert stuff set up, the pianos and guitars, a couple of the microphones. I also put like a dance floor up here. I don't know. I know some artists like to dance around when they're performing, so I put that up there too. But I just really enjoy going to concerts because it's not really something that I get to do very often, so when I do get the opportunity, it's always nice. And one of the things that I did notice about this venue is that they have a ton of advertisements like everywhere. Like they have billboards and like the little TV screens that have like advertisements flashing on them all over the place. So I kind of put a few of those here and there throughout the build just to had more realism. And this is kind of where I started to run into some of these issues. I really wanted to have this like mosh pit area like right out close to the stage, but I couldn't because they're like intersecting and the game doesn't like that. Like the different wall heights, I don't know. It was just weird. It didn't like it and I was getting very frustrated. But I was searching through Debug and I found a couple of these like fences from high school years and I put them kind of like everywhere. Because that's something you see a lot at like concert venues is that they have these like movable fences that they just kind of like put up to signify like where lines are or like keep people away from like the stage. So I put a bunch of those like everywhere. And while I was searching through the high school years debug, I found these really cool like car park spots, like the painted spots that they have in the parking lot at the high school, and I put those down too because I thought that that would be a fun little way to mark where the lines are at, even though it doesn't really matter. There are no real lines for this game because it's just a bar. They just walk in and do whatever they want. I'm just working on the little bar area over here really quickly. I wanted it to look like the bartender could just like look out the window and take somebody's order and like get them their drink through the window, because that's kind of how it is, but in The Sims you can't really do that, so I had to make like an actual little tiny bar area. I only put like 2 seats at it, and then I added a bar height table and a couple of bar stools to that inside the little building for the bar. I found a bunch of these like picnic tables and I didn't know that they actually count as dining tables, so I just kind of put a bunch of those like everywhere. And at the real concert, you're allowed to bring like beach chairs, which are just like little short pop-up chairs, but we don't really have those in games, so I used just like regular camping chairs from the outdoor kit, and I think some of them are from like high school years, maybe. I'm not really sure. But this is where I was trying to like raise up the terrain a little bit, and like it just wasn't, it didn't look good with the platforms. Usually with like foundations, it'll like level to the height of the foundation. It just wasn't with the platforms. I don't know why it does that, but who knows. I didn't like the look of any of the like sidewalk options that we had for this build, mainly because when I put the sidewalk down, those little like high school years parking space paint things, they like disappear because it's like underneath, I don't know. But I decided to use terrain paint instead. I just thought it looked a little bit cleaner, and I could also see those little parking spot things. And it was also easier to make it look a little bit older with the terrain paint instead of like using like a newer brick. I'm using this like brick path from Growing Together, I want to say. No, not Growing Together, Get Together. And it just like looks like really worn down, like tons of people have been walking on it for a really long time. We've got it over here by the little bathroom. And I only put one bathroom in this build. We really only need one. And I just kind of like put it over by the side stage. That's kind of where it was in Pine Knob, so that's kind of what I tried to do because there's only like a couple bathrooms in that place. And then I'm going through and placing a bunch of these like little metal barriers from the high school years pack just like all around, because the fences that I was going to use just didn't look like a concert fence. Like these are classic like concert venue fence. So I put those like literally all around the build. Anywhere that like a sim could like sneak in, I put a fence there so that your sims had to go through the front door of the build. And when I was playtesting this build, I kind of like messed up a little bit. I used like a regular stage door for the back, and when my sim that I have testing it was like up on stage singing, a bunch of sims just kept walking in through the back door to give my sim money instead of like standing in the pit and watching them. So I had to change it to a 3-star celebrity door that only celebs can get inside of, just so you guys know. You'll kind of see it when I'm doing the playtesting portion. There's like a bunch of sims just like standing around on the stage because they're also trying to watch the TV that I put on the stage to act like one of the big TV screens that they project like the artist onto when they're singing. But that's why I playtest my builds, because I want to make sure that it's functional for all of our sims. I also created this little like dressing room area. Your sims can come and get dressed here for their concert. They can change their outfit. They can put makeup on. I also added the dumpster from Eco Lifestyle because we have to have somewhere to woohoo, just in case. You never know. And now I'm just kind of going around doing all the nighttime lighting, make sure that the paths are all lit so that your sims can see and so that you can see when you're playing. I also added one of these like selling tables from Eco Lifestyle to make it seem like they were selling merch or something. But your sims can also like stock the table themselves and come and sell their items here if they need to, so it's also like practical for gameplay wise. And then I also added a little tent. You know, your sim's gonna get tired, and it also kind of seems like a sim had maybe like been camping out a couple days for the concert. I also really wanted to get like a food stall here. I just thought that might be a nice idea for your sims. You have to hire the vendor though. It's like $100 or 100 simoleons for your sims to hire the vendor. But it's nice to have more options aside from like chips and like the regular bar food to eat, because sometimes it's not as filling. But we are going to get right into the playtesting portion of this build. We've got our sim here. I want to say her name is Vanessa Jiang. I'm not sure. But we've got a whole aerial of the whole venue. I found these like really cool things from, I want to say, Growing Together. I'm not entirely sure where the like rainbow things are from. But we've got like our ATMs here for the admission. The bartender will walk through the back door of the little bar area here. You can see I put some blankets down in the mosh pit area just so your sims can like sit down on the ground. We've got our vendor there. But that is all for today's video. You can find this build and all of my other builds on the gallery at Darth_Jeswick, just like it appears here on YouTube. Make sure you're hitting that like button because it does really help out. And subscribe so that you can see all my new videos. And I will see you all in the next one. Bye everybody.